Good morning, everyone. My name is Father Bob Gross, and welcome to my office. It's 10:05 on Saturday, January 30th, 2021. Today's video, I want to offer a reflection on Catholic Schools Week, which we begin this week. Traditionally, it's the last week in January, and this year it's coming up this week. And I wanted to offer a reflection on that because there's been some talk about Catholic schools and some controversy at the State House about the recent school choice bill that was passed by the Iowa Senate this last week. There were a lot of strong feelings on social media by many people in our community, and I just want to offer some reflections about that. So first things first, I'm a supporter of Catholic education. And the reason why I'm a supporter of Catholic education is a long historical reason. One of the greatest blessings of being a Roman Catholic is that the Roman Catholic Church, in her efforts to be faithful to Christ, has been an institution and a community of believers that is trying to build a civilization of love. That's trying to build a civilization of love. That line, civilization of love, is one that St. John Paul II used a lot in his teaching, that we are to build a culture of life and a civilization of love. And one of the aspects of a civilization of love is a civilization and society of learning. That faith and reason go together. Faith and reason are not opposite of one another. Faith and reason go together. So when you look at the long history of the Roman Catholic Church over 2,000 years, we have been the forefront and the inventors of deepening education. We received the gift of education, learning, and wisdom from our Jewish ancestors, who were very committed to learning. We received a lot of graces and gifts from the Greek culture that celebrated reason. But it was the Catholic Church that brought those two streams together, the devotion to the Word of God and the devotion to the life of the mind. And that has been a consistent theme throughout the history of the Catholic Church. So monasteries became places of learning, and monasteries started to open up schools, and those schools were the only schools that were allowed people to learn about the life of the mind, the life of knowledge, the life of discovery. Later in the history of the Church, especially in the High Middle Ages, the 1100s, was the founding of the university system, which we have today. The University of Paris was one of the first ones. The university in Oxford, the university in Bologna, Padua. All of these ancient medieval universities is where higher learning began. If it wasn't for the Catholic Church, you wouldn't have Iowa State. You wouldn't have the University of Iowa. The Catholic Church has been the forefront of educating people, and most especially to educating the poor. In our own country, when we came to the United States as Catholics, this country was an anti-Catholic country. And there are still elements of anti-Catholicism within our country. So the Catholic Church, when it started in the United States, started to begin to build a alternative school system because of our unwelcome to the public school system. That's a fact. You can go back to the time in New York, how there were openly anti-Catholic sentiment within public schools. So the Catholic Church said, we're going to teach our faith to our kids. And that's been the blessing of teaching orders that have been around since the beginning of the Catholic Church in the United States. And those religious women and those bishops and priests that supported those religious women set up the most sophisticated non-public Catholic school system in the United States. And that is the thing that happened here when our ancestors came here. They established a parish, and the first thing that they did is that they established a school. That our children, no matter their socioeconomic condition, should have a place where they can learn, and then also learn about the God who gives the gift of learning. That's why I support Catholic schools. It's because we're in that tradition of making the world more human, and that faith is not alien to reason, and that faith can be reasonable. So we come to our own town, our own towns. St. Wenceslaus had its own school. St. Aloysius had its own school. Our Lady of Seven Dolours had its own school. St. Francis de Sales had its own school. We have to remember that the height of population in the 99 counties in Iowa happened around 1900. That's when all the counties had its highest population. And since 1900, the population in rural counties of Iowa have either stayed the same or they've started to go down. So if you have less kids, you have more strain on the Catholic schools and also on the public school systems that we have. So that's what we're in right now. That is part of the reason why we pursue the consolidation of our two schools and started St. Teresa of Calcutta School. And we're in a place where we have pooled our resources, have consolidated in order that we can continue to provide Catholic education until Jesus comes again. I still believe that was the right decision. I think we do have a good Catholic school. I'm so thankful to the school board, to Mrs. Kriener, to Mrs. Busaro, to all the teachers and staff, to all the supporters of our school that in order to make that happen. But I'm also very aware that there are many parishioners within our four parishes that do not care for the Catholic school, that do not support the Catholic school. In fact, there are parishioners that do not support the parish because some of our money goes to support the Catholic school. Now, people have their reasons for that. Frankly, I wish we could have more of a discussion in the reasons behind that. It seems to never get that. It seems to becomes a moment of great emotion and passion and argument. And there never seems to be really a calm place in order to talk about that. I've heard many things of reasons of why people do not support Catholic schools. And one of them is that because of the scarcity of resources, that if you support the Catholic school, you are somehow inherently not supporting Southwind School District. And I just think that's I just think that reason is wrong. Yes, we have a K through 8 school. We have 190 students in that school. But that makes us no less members of the Southwind School District. All of our graduates of St. Teresa will go to Southwind High School, and we want Southwind to succeed. We want them to succeed. And being a supporter of the school district does not inherently make you not a supporter of Catholic schools. And because you're a supporter of Catholic schools does not make you not an inherent supporter of the school district. I hear that a lot, and it came up again. It flashed up again with this bill that was passed by the Iowa Senate, giving more choice to parents. Why wouldn't we want to give our parents more choice in how they want to raise their children? Everyone pays taxes. Why would we not want to allow students to go to the school in which their parents wish to send them. I know some of these comments may upset some people, but I just wish we could get to the reasons why. I've also heard a critique that St. Teresa of Calcutta School is taking students away from Southwind. And that's not the case either. Parents are making their choice, and traditionally we've had a very good working relationship with Southwind. So to conclude, what I'd like to offer is that we also have the opportunity to offer faith formation to people who choose not to go to Catholic schools. And that's what the St. Teresa of Calcutta Faith Formation Program is, formerly known as the Nazareth Religion Program. Every Wednesday night, we're starting every Wednesday beginning next month in February. We have catechists. That is a legitimate choice that makes you no less Catholic, no less concerned about the faith formation of your child, in which K through 8 kids can receive religious instruction and formation to help them to be better Catholics. Then everyone, whether you went to religious education on Wednesday nights or whether you went to K through 8 Catholic schools, we all come together for the high school program. We want to make the high school program as best as we can. We're trying to offer ways to help parents grow in forming children. And the long history of the Catholic Church has been the establishment of schools. So I don't feel like we have to apologize for that. I think we can celebrate that. And I do celebrate that as we begin Catholic Schools Week. So I want to thank everyone who supports St. Teresa of Calcutta Catholic School. I also want to offer an opportunity to have a deeper conversation of these simmering divisions over the issue of the school. I'd like to understand more of the reservation of people and why sometimes there's an inherent critique or opposition to our Catholic school. I would like to know more about that. So if you're open to having an honest, respectful, calm dialogue, call me up. Call me up and I would love to talk to you. So God bless you. God bless St. Teresa of Calcutta School. God bless our Catholic schools throughout the Archdiocese of Dubuque. God bless Catholic schools throughout our nation. And I'm thanking God for them. Hope to see all of you at Mass, and peace and God bless.